abolish
reason
ICE.
why
You agree with me, Joy? Abolish ICE.
Listen, I'm going to use the language that I want to use. You can use the language that you want to use.
Oh my God, he's getting cooked. Oh my God.
You will pet me, whether you like it or not.
That came out after the 2024 election said the main reason why Democrats stayed at home was their displeasure with the genocide that's happening in Gaza. And what we've seen is AIPAC. AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District. And we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Well, listen, everyone's going to have to make their individual decision. My view as it relates to Democratic incumbents, first of all, is that I will continue to stand by every single one of them, whether that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the one hand, or the most conservative, moderate Democrat on the other, who's sitting in the Trump district and at all points in between, right? That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms...
Okay. What about when AIPAC spends against your incumbents? Hello? That's not the question.
Of how people individually fundraise, I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution amongst the millions of dollars that I've been working hard to raise for my own reelection that I use to help elect Democrats in other parts of the country is $27 per contributor. That's my average contribution. That's probably the lowest in the Congress. And so now everyone is going to raise money from their own constituents in different ways, and their own constituents are going to have a variety of different perspectives on a variety of different issues. But make no mistake, there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and we're seeing that right now. I know some people like to project otherwise. How one can see the horrors of what has been inflicted on the American people since January 20th of last year and conclude otherwise, or want to try to suggest that there's no difference in one's quality of life. When I go to Bedford-Stuyvesant or Brownsville or East New York or Canarsie or the West End of Coney Island, people know that their life is being made markedly worse because of who's in office right now, both in the White House and the House.
Well, Representative, respectfully,
and we're determined to do something about that.
Just a quick follow-up. So that means, will you stop taking money from AIPAC?
I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it, where the average contribution from millions of people across the country is $27 per contributor.
We are out of time.
Cooked. Yeah. He very quickly turned around and said, oh, AIPAC, a right-wing pro-Trump, pro-Israel lobbying group that is a major contributor to my campaigns. Oh, you want me to stop taking money from them? No. The answer is no. I will not stop taking money from them because I love Israel. And also, remember Trump. Remember Trump. Remember Trump. Remember Trump. This was also his takes on ICE or on abolish ICE. Let's take a look.
With impunity.
Representative, may I?
Yes.
I'm going to give you some numbers. Just today, it came out that ICE is using $38 billion to convert warehouses into camps. I'm going to call them concentration camps. Your colleague, Representative Raskin, went to one just yesterday in Maryland and said there were 60 people cramped like sardines in one room who only had access to one toilet. 65% of people taken by ICE had no convictions. That's from the Cato Institute, a right-wing institute. ICE has killed 8 people this year alone that we know of. 2 of them, Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretty. The latest polls came out this week, AP polls. Over 60% of Americans now disapprove of ICE. That means in 3 weeks, it's gone from 30% to 60%. Now, if I may, I'm going to be a bit blunt here. Leaders lead. And what we've seen is people are impressionable. If you lead on something, people will follow. It seems the wind is behind your back for the first time ever. ICE has a history. CPP has a history of terrorizing Black and brown communities. People are asking themselves, why are we, our taxpayer dollars, for masked, lawless men to terrorize our communities, kidnap people, take children, and kill Americans? So I ask you.
He is cooking, dude. This is what you constantly say, leaders lead. Yeah, because it's true. Republicans do not shy away from leading the conversation in a direction that they find to be suitable. Republicans love it. They're confident. They love moving the conversation in a direction that is beneficial to them. Democrats constantly are on the defensive against their own audience, against their own voters.
I'm following up to Joy because I want an answer to this. You said you want to rein in ICE. I'm talking about the long term now. Why not lead and say abolish ICE? Because what you're telling us is you want our taxpayer dollars to pay for a lawless masked armed agency to continue terrorizing our cities. And I'm trying to figure out how you, as a leader, can be telling Americans that their taxpayer dollars should be going to ICE.
I don't understand anything that you just said. When I
spoke English.
I don't understand anything that you've just said to me when I've made clear that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them. That's the whole reason we're in this fight right now. That's the whole reason the DHS is getting ready to shut down. That's
So
the whole
abolish
reason
ICE.
why
You agree with me, Joy? Abolish ICE.
Listen, I'm going to use the language that I want to use. You can use the language that you want to use.
Oh my God, he's getting cooked. Oh my God.
And the language that I'm using right now relates to these type of bold, meaningful, dramatic changes that are designed to save lives right now in communities that look like the ones that I represent. And that's the goal.
So let me ask you this. Yeah.
Dude, Democrats despise their voters. I swear to God. They hate their voters, bro. It's one of the most fascinating things to watch unfold. Like the amount of enmity and hatred that they love their Republican colleagues a lot more than they like their voters. Straight up. Their attitude towards their voters is put the small dollar donation in the bag, little bro, and shut the up. Republican light. I mean, it's not even because Republicans at least like fake love their voters. They love their voters. They act like they find new ways to garner their attention. They find new ways to galvanize them. They find new ways to embolden them by leaning into like right-wing reactionary nonsense. They find new talking points. Democrats are constantly running away from their base. It's like they're mad that they have to make an argument at all.
And I hear what you're saying.
Every single Democrat together in the House and in the Senate is what we're trying to do to give us the best shot to win this fight right now while we're in the minority.
My question, though, is more about
A fundamental problem Democratic leadership has is this extreme disconnect from the party voters and its base. MAGA doesn't have that. MAGA has a give and take with its base and brings its base into discussion about strategy and tactics. So Hakeem Jeffries is about to shut DHS down over ICE abuses, but the base has very little idea what he's doing. When confronted, he gets indignant. Having no real link with the party base is deliberate, but it's going to be their undoing. They can't even win when they win, and this clip is a window into
with impunity.
More AOC updates and on Maduro.
A percent of populist movements is telling us that governments have
All right, we'll do that in a second. We'll do that AOC thing in a second. Okay. They're mad that it's not a position concocted within a think tank test group. Yeah. Abolish ICE went from marginal to majority position in a year based on organizing and the state's violent reaction to it. But it's important to note that this was a reaction that centrist Iglesias types argued should be abandoned. They're idiots. Don't listen to them ever. That's all this is. They literally do not want anything that wasn't cooked up in a laboratory as a talking point to get salience. Their job as the DNC is to aggressively push back against like real grassroots positions that people come up with. That's literally what happened with BLM, what happened with like defund the police. Like they spent every waking moment, instead of defending it, they spent every waking moment attacking it. We would be living in a much different country right now if the Democrats behaved in the way that the Republicans did, where they just basically leaned into it and played a role in disseminating what defund the police actually means, right? But they didn't. They attacked it, attacking their own base in the process and getting the Republicans a massive W over them. That's it.
You will pet me, whether you like it or not. The Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. The Piker Broadcasting Service is where you get tomorrow's news today. whether you like it or not.